Good morning, students. Today we are going to see our next chapter, valence bond theory. The limitations of Werner's theory and Sedgwick model made it necessary to search for a new theory of bonding in complexes. Even Pauling's early model had certain defects. Sometimes the number of orbitals needed for accommodating the electrons did not agree with the number of available orbitals of the central metal atom or ion. Sometimes the observed and expected magnetic moment of the complex does not agree, does not match. Similarly, the accommodation and accumulation of negative charge on central metal atom in the complex become a point of objection. These and such difficulties of other points made the Paulings to improve his theory, and then the theory of the application of Phoebe theory deals with the electronic structure of the central metal atom or ion in its ground state. The VBT gives fairly good explanation about the shapes and magnetic moments of a large number of coordination complexes. With the help of this theory, Paulings derived very simple and satisfactory explanation for presenting the picture of bonding in coordination complexes. This theory have some assumptions. We are going to see that assumptions of valence bond theory. First one, for the formation of coordinate covalent bond, the central atom or ion in the complex provides a number of empty orbitals equal to its coordination number. For this purpose, appropriate ligand orbitals are required. This means we see in the covalent bond, particularly it will be formed by the overlapping of atomic orbitals. That atomic orbital must be half-filled. But here we are going to see coordinate covalent bond. So in the coordinate covalent bond, empty orbital overlaps with filled orbitals, and here metal have the empty orbitals and ligand have the filled orbitals, and so that its metal's coordination number means the number of ligands attached to the central metal atom. That number of orbital must be empty with the metal atom, and same type of the ligand orbitals overlaps on it, and then this coordinate covalent bond is possible. Second assumption, for the formation of strong bond between the middle and the legal and the overlap of a metal orbital should be effective as possible. That means when stronger is the overlapping, stronger is the bond. More is the overlapping, stronger is the bond. For this purpose, original atomic orbitals of metal may undergo hybridization to form a new sets of equivalent orbitals with definite directional properties. Some common hybridization schemes and their geometrical shapes are here also we are going to see that shapes and geometries also. But before to this, see, strong bond have the larger overlapping between the orbitals, and here also the metal atom have the different orbitals, but it bond strength and bonding characters are the same, so they must undergoes the hybridization. First it make the orbitals empty which are equal to its coordination number, then that orbitals undergoes hybridization and provides the orbitals of the same energy, same geometry, same symmetry for the overlapping. And when hybrid orbitals are there, their overlapping is better, and so that we have the stronger bond. Then assumption third assumption is each ligand must contain at least one pair of electron for the purpose of donation and forming a bond. Fourth, coordinate covalent sigma bond is formed when a vacant orbital of metal overlaps with filled orbitals of ligand. The coordinate covalent bond thus has a considerable amount of polarity due to the mode of formation. See, this coordinate covalent bond is a stronger bond and it have a polarity because ligand orbitals are filled and metal orbitals are the empty, so somewhat they are towards the ligand and automatically this bond will become the somewhat polar. The next assumption, the metal electron which do not take part in hybridization, metal electrons which do not take part in the hybridization occupy in the inner d orbitals. They are known as non-bonding metal electrons. That means the electrons which are not involved in the bonding, they remains in the metal d orbital and they are called as the non-bonding metal electrons. Next, there is also a possibility of formation of pi bond in addition to the sigma bond. This is possible when filled d orbitals of fundamental can overlap with empty orbitals of ligand. This kind of pi bonding increases in the strength of sigma bond and changes the charge distribution on both the metal and the ligand. That means, as we see, first for the formation of the coordinate covalent bond, that is sigma bond, there is empty metal orbitals overlaps with filled ligand orbitals and sigma bond is formed. But at the same time, multiple bonding is considered here, that is pi bonding. In the pi bonding, filled metal orbitals which are not taking part into the sigma bonding and they are having the pi character, they are on the metal, that are they can occupy the electrons which are not taking part into the sigma bonding. Now they are filled and such orbitals can overlaps on metal empty orbital and they can form the pi bond. 7. From the knowledge of number of unpaired electrons in the complex, it forms possible, gives the geometry and magnetic property characteristics. Thus, the number of unpaired electrons gives the idea about the complex is paramagnetic or diamagnetic, and it also gives the particularly hybridization gives the idea about the geometry of the complex, either it is square planar, tetrahedral or the octahedral. Concept of hybridization and the shapes and relative strength of the bond. The combination of atomic orbitals to give equivalent orbitals is known as hybridization. The combination of s and 3p orbitals gives tetrahedral hybrid sp3 orbitals. Other hybrid orbitals are formed as the result of the combination s, p and d atomic orbitals. Some common example, see here. First, there is the trigonal planar, that is sp2 hybridization, sp3 hybridization, which is tetrahedral shape. Square planar d2 sp3 hybridization, trigonal bipyramidal TBP dsp3 or sp3d. Then d2 sp3 or sp3 d2 hybridization, which gives the octahedral shape for the complex. See, here there are some shapes and relative strength of common hybrid orbitals. The hybrid orbitals of the metal atom or ion from the most stable covalent bonds between the metal and the ligands are here. See, here in this table we have the coordination number, hybrid orbitals, geometrical shape, its relative strength and examples of the compounds. See, single s and p orbitals, they does not show the particularly any hybridization, but they have their s character and the p character. See, for the coordination number 2, sp hybridization is possible, geometry is the linear and strength of the bond is 1.93, and its example is Ag NH3 twice 1 plus or Ag Cn twice 1 minus. These two examples for the sp hybridization. Then coordination number 3, sp2, 1s orbital and 2p orbitals, they combine for the sp2 hybridization. Geometry is trigonal planar. Bond, relative bond strength 1.99, and example is Ag PR3 thrice 1 plus, here bulkier ligands. Then coordination number 4, for the coordination number 4 there are two hybridization possible, one for tetrahedral, that is sp3, and another for the square planar, it is dsp2. See, for the sp3 hybridization, it is tetrahedral geometry, relative bond strength is 2.0, and example is NiCO4 square bracket complete. Another example, ZnNH34 2 plus complex. For the square planar complex, hybridization is dsp2, relative bond strength is 2.69, and example is NiCN4 2 minus, and another example PtNH34 2 plus. Coordination number 5. For the coordination number 5, again there are the geometry, that is the trigonal bipyramidal one, and another one is the square pyramidal. See, trigonal bipyramidal, its example is CuCl5 3 minus and FeCO5. For the square pyramidal, there are NiPet3 twice Br3 and SbF5 2 minus. Then coordination number 6, hybridization is D2sp3 or sp3d2. Geometrical shape is octahedral, relative strength is 2.92, and example is CONH36 3 plus, and another example FeCN6 3 minus. Thank you.